We all make mistakes in our gunfights, but here are 5 mistakes that you're making right now that we're gonna fix today. Mistake number 1 is the ego chow, and I promise you, this is a mistake that you're making that is costing you gunfights. Most people make this mistake without even realizing it. I myself made this mistake the other day on ranked play here, and we're about to break down a clip to show you exactly how you can fix it. All right, first things first, we're just gonna let this play out in regular speed so you guys can see what's going on here. There's an enemy at the top of fire. I'm gonna go ahead and shoulder him a little bit, get my eyes on him, chow him, and ultimately end up dying. Now we're gonna play this one more time, but we're gonna break it down in slow motion so I can show you exactly what went wrong here. So as you can see, once again, there's an enemy shooting on the mini map, which is top fire station over here. My teammate crosses. I'm gonna go to peek him and hopefully get a down on him when he's looking over. At least that's my thought process. I peek the corner, clearly see him right here with my first shoulder. So obviously my centering was not good. It was a little low, as you can see with my center dot below him. So all I'm going to do is pop back behind cover, reposition a little bit with my AR, center him correctly. I actually get the first shot on him, and this is huge. This is kind of why I took this fight initially, but I wasn't following my rules correctly. We're gonna talk about that in a second. So I get the first shot on him. Ultimately, I'm too exposed. He gets some good shots back at me, and I end up going down. So what's the biggest takeaway from this, and how can you actually get better? Well, if you can learn anything from this segment, it is knowing when to disengage. Now, Mark, how do I know when to disengage? How do I know when to do that? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a 2-step rule set to make it as simple as possible. The first part of the rule set is, if your enemy gets first shot on you, disengage. Second part, if your enemy has far better positioning than you, disengage. I'm gonna repeat it one more time. If your enemy gets first shot on you or has far better positioning than you, simply disengage, reposition, find the advantage fight. Now, which one did I not do here? Okay, when we play the video, it's back in slow-mo. I clearly get first shot on him. That wasn't the issue. What was the actual issue? It was the second part, right? The enemy had far better positioning than me. I should have backed off that fight and re-engage in a better position. Now, the pro players that play this game do this so unbelievably well, which is crazy because you're thinking, oh, they're pros, they can rip anybody off head glitches. No. When they're playing good players and you watch them take fights, they're taking advantage fights and they are disengaging or not ego challenging, and they do this so unbelievably well. If you guys can learn this skill of knowing when to disengage from gunfights that you have lost before you've actually lost them so you can stay alive, this is the difference between setting or getting the amount of kills you have right now and setting a new PR. I promise you. Learn when to disengage, stop ego challenging, and win more gunfights. Mistake number 2 that a lot of you guys are making is simply not pre-firing your gunfights. This one is so incredibly important, especially in close quarter engagements. I'm gonna show you exactly how I get a free kill right here. Once again, we're in ranked play. We're gonna go ahead and push this warehouse. We know people are in this general area. My buddy got a knock off it. I'm gonna fly in here with a pre-fire, end up picking up a free kill simply because I got my gun going before this guy. We end up wiping the squad. All this to say that pre-firing is so important, and simply said, you guys aren't doing it enough. This is the difference maker. Let me ask you, how many times have you gotten a gunfight and you're like, oh man, the guy was 1 bullet. If I only had 1 more bullet on him, this is it. This is it. You want to be, if you know the general area of where somebody is, I want you guys to start pre-firing your shots. So like shooting before you even see them more often. Simple as that. Just practice it. Try it. If in your close quarter engagements, if you have any sort of info, I know the audio is awful in this game. I get it. But at least some of us know, like, oh, he's in this general room. He's in this general area of the room. I'm going to slide in there and get some pre-fires down before I actually locate him. Let me put it this way. If you wait to go into a room and actually see the person before you aim in and start firing, you are going to lose a lot of gunfights, especially these close quarter gunfights. Start pre-firing more. I'm going to show you one more example here in the gulag. All right, so here's a quick clip from the gulag. I'm going to let this play in fast motion, and then we're going to break it down in slow-mo, okay? So all I'm doing is looking for him, pre-fire some shots on the right. Don't really know where he's at. See him crossing over, throw a shock charge, get some hits, get some pre-fires down, end up hitting him a couple times, then swoop around for the easy kill, okay? Now let's actually break this down in slow-mo so I can show you exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna put this in 0.5 speed here. Okay. So all I'm doing to start this off is trying to find where the heck is this guy. I'm trying to get any info. I think he's on the left side. I don't see him on the left side, so I pre-fire the right. He's not on the right, unfortunately. Okay, we're still looking for him. And then right here is the first time I see him. Okay, he's crossing from right to left right here. He's in the water over here. Now that I know the general area of where he's at, okay, I'm caught off guard. From our first tip, he has much better positioning than me. And I know I'm not going to get first shot on this gunfight. So I'm just going to disengage. Okay. I disengage. He does get a shot off on me, but I know the general area of where he's at, right? So I'm going to throw a shock charge over there on the left side. As you can see at the middle of my screen, shock charge to my enemy. So I know he got hit by that and I hear it obviously. So all I'm going to do is pre-aim this side where I know he's at. I'm pre-firing and end up hitting what, 2-3 bullets. That right there could be the difference maker in your guys' fights, just by simply throwing some shots down the general area. I know where he's at. I didn't even see him yet, but I'm throwing shots in that general area. Get some easy damage right there. I now know the gunfight is even, or I'm in an advantage fight. I also know the general idea where he's at, so I'm going to slide around the corner, pick up this easy free kill. Start pre-firing more of your gunfights. Try it out. Just mess up a few times. That's totally okay. Start pre-firing more, win more gunfights. Mistake number 3 is simply playing too scared. Some of you guys are guilty of this exact thing. You guys play too scared, man, and it's severely hindering your growth in Call of Duty. Let me kind of explain why. People ask me on stream all the time, like, Mark, what's the #1 way to get better? The first thing I say is sub to the YouTube. Of course, no, like actually sub. We're almost to 100K. I'd really appreciate it if you did. What I actually tell them is get in more gunfights and stop playing so scared. It is as simple as that. You guys need to be getting in more gunfights, challenging more things, dying more so that you can understand why you died from certain situations. The situations that pertain to me are probably going to be different than what pertains to you. If you have the ability to record your gameplay, record your deaths specifically, I would far rather see a montage of people's deaths than their cool kills. Why? Because you can learn so much more from the deaths. So start recording your deaths on PlayStation or Xbox, wherever you're on, and then learn from them. Okay. How do you guys think I came up with that rule earlier about when to disengage and stop ego challenging, right? We talked about that rule that I told you about, right? It's if enemy gets first shot on you or they have far better positioning than you, then disengage. Okay. I didn't learn that from some other video. I learned that by watching my own footage, watching my own deaths, and then learning when to not ego challenge. Made that own rule for myself to try to follow. Okay. That's all I want you guys to do. I don't want to overcomplicate this step. Get in more gunfights, die more. It is perfectly fine. And then learn from those deaths and improve. Mistake number 4 is lazy centering. You guys do it. I do it. I don't care if you're a 4 to 5 KD player like me or you're brand new to the game. I promise you, you guys have lazy centering. We're going to talk about this in this clip and we're going to show you guys how to fix it. Okay. All right. So right away, I crack this enemy right here. I push up the ladder. I get gunned off this head glitch. Somebody could say, you know, you died because of the ego child. No, I really died because of lazy centering. I never should have lost that gunfight. We're going to back it up a little bit and show you exactly how. Okay, I'm going to put this in slow-mo. We're going to go up this ladder. And if you guys don't know what centering is, once again, make sure you guys check out our aim guide. It's super important. We're going to talk about lazy centering and how I was lazy with it right here. And it completely cost me this gunfight. So I pop up the ladder. As you're going to see right here, you see my center dot. Okay, why is my center dot right here when I come off the ladder? This is simply me just being lazy with my centering, okay? I know he's not going to be over here to my left because I can see that. So why is my centering so low? It should be chest to neck level, basically everywhere I move, okay? Including right over this head glitch. The fact that it's down here loses me this gunfight. Watch this. I finally see him. He pops over the head glitch because he was shielding back there. My shots start way too low. I try to track him. I whiff. I ultimately end up breaking him, but it doesn't matter because we lose the gunfight. Okay, and this is simply because of lazy centering. The only reason that I am showing you this clip right here is because I was so mad I lost this gunfight. I literally went back after stream, watched this one again, and tried to figure out why I lost it. I saw straight away I had lazy centering. This costed me the gunfight. But listen, I can't tell you the night and day session I had between this session and the very next day's session. I went up way more SR that next day simply because I was focusing on not having lazy centering, okay? You guys need to implement this into your game. It is so unbelievably important. If you can take away anything from this video, fix your centering. Once again, watch our aim guide to learn all about centering, but not having lazy centering. If you just focused on one thing, that is so incredibly important. Mistake number 5. If you guys made it this far and want to watch our live streams, we're live every single night playing ranked play at kick.com/MarkClarkk. Hopefully see you guys over there. But mistake number 5 that you guys are making is pushing with no info. This one is so important. Let's go ahead and break down this clip. Throw a nade in there. We gather info. We know somebody's in there. I thought there was only one, so I push up this stairs, slide in, go for the kill, and sure enough, there's another enemy in there.
Multiple.
and he puts me down. Okay, we've all been in this scenario, whether you're playing ranked play or you're playing Rebirth Island. Okay, we all know there's been a room where a bunch of stackers are in there. We don't know how many of them, but it is our job to find out. Okay, you slide into the room, you end up dying. Okay, that is 100% your fault, 100% my fault in this case scenario, because we're challenging without info. Okay, we are challenging fights without info. Now, how do you gather info? One way is to throw a nade, throw a lethal. Boom, I know somebody's in there. I don't know how many, but to figure that out, we need to implement these next steps. How do we gather info, right? One way is by shouldering. If you guys watched our movement guide, if you haven't checked that out, understand what shouldering is. We showed it in mistake number 1, where I shouldered the guy on the roof of fire, right? And then went back to reach out. Shouldering is a great way to find info of where your enemy is, right? That's a great way. Another one is having a UAV. We didn't have a UAV in this case scenario, but another great way to gather info. The last one would be audio. Kind of like the last one you want to rely on because it's so bad, but listening to the audio, listening how many footsteps are in the room possibly, right? These are all ways you're going to want to gather info. Tag him in there. Now, what I should have done, we very clearly understand, never commit to a building without having full info. That's the main mistake here, okay? But what I should have done, right? I saw this enemy. I should have killed him from outside the door. And this is great. This is great for you guys too. We all, like I said, we all have those stackers on Rebirth Island or ranked play. They're all camped in the building. The importance of the doorway is everything, right? Stay on the outside of the door. I should have gunned this guy, saw if anybody else challenged me, because now the enemies get funneled to the doorway, right? When it's me and I slide in there, now I can get shot from every which direction. But if I get shot in front of me, I can slide backwards, play the stairhead glitch. There's a lot of different options, okay? So the mistake number 5 is committing without info, committing to these gunfights without info. Just gather more info in the ways I talked about and start winning more of these gunfights. There you have it, 5 mistakes that you guys are making that I've made that hopefully we can all learn from, okay? I'm gonna attach both of our movement and our aim guides right here so you guys can check those out. If you haven't already, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that sub button. And until next time, we'll see you.